Comic Menu Podcast is sponsored by Realistic Comic Books. RealComicBooks.com.
Hello, look at that, Tuesday. That's right, you know what that means. That's right, my face. But not just my face. You have other faces that are going to be joining soon. As I always like to say, you have a choice to be somewhere on Tuesday. You really do. But for some godforsaken reason, you choose to be here. I have a strong suspicion of why. Could it be the content? Could it be kind of fucking funny? Could it be the information you always gain every Monday? Shit. Look at that. I'm also have dementia. Every Tuesday with my guests, they're pretty knowledgeable. And today we're going to have we haven't had this show yet. And it's all about indie books. Woo! This is the funny thing, right? Because you guys know I don't read worth a shit. So, but I do have this itch. I need a scratch. You know what I'm saying? And I need to get some answers. And what way to do it than to fill my gallery tonight with a bunch of fucking geeks who read, and that's all they do is read. They don't do anything else. But let's just start bringing these guys in. All right, here we go. Let's go with. Let's see, where is he? Did he leave? Oh man, he's the worst guy. All right, he's left. Okay, so in that case, let's bring in Sam. Sam.
Second best.
Where's well, I normally bring in Dan first, but I don't
Dan
know
left?
Yeah, I don't see him. That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Then we'll bring in, let's bring in Ish. Why not Ish?
Yo.
And then we're going to bring in a guy who was here a couple weeks ago, comic book creator, master of creating cons with the longest name. We'll get into that later. Where we do some plug-in, incomparable Mark Fenton, and then the guy who apparently reads every fucking book that gets out there, Sarkis. I think Sarkis, that this guy reads everything. I'm not gonna lie.
Hey everybody.
Right? I'm not sarcastic.
Yeah.
Right?
No, I read a lot of indies. A lot of indie publishers, like almost all of them.
It's crazy how you guys have that tendency to do that, because I don't. The last thing I read was a TV guide. I think that was in 1992.
Oh wow.
Before some of you guys were born. Mark gets it.
It was Hustler magazine.
It was not a Hustler magazine. Yeah, well, you're right, because I was reading those for the articles. You're absolutely correct.
Skip the little comics.
There's so many things that. Oh, he said it has internet issues. Okay, Dan. So, I indie books. Holy shit, indie books, right?
Yeah.
One thing that I did learn about indie books, and I've learned about indie books, is that they make great screenplays for movies and TV shows. That I do get. There's something about it that's very intriguing, that they get picked up. Production or rights and all that stuff.
They're easier to option.
They're easier to option, right?
And they're storyboards.
Well, they're easier to change too.
Yeah, and they're storyboards.
See, I never thought about that.
So well, yeah, if you ever watch, what's the vampire movie with Kate Heckinsale?
Underworld.
If you ever watch Underworld, right? Michael Griveau talks about how it was easy for them to sell the script to that because he storyboarded it. Right. So he was able to present a visual to, the people that optioned it.
And look what happened, right? I mean, they made, 4 movies out of that?
Five films.
So all you see now is, so-and-so got optioned. Oh, so-and-so got optioned for an animation. Oh, so-and-so got this. Now, we all know what it means about option. You can get option, Mark, you would know about this. Right? You get option, and then it sits in the can for 7 years.
Yeah, they're just buying the option.
They're just buying.
They have the rights. They did, like, for in our case, they had the rights for so many years. And then in some cases, they get first option after that. So they can re-up again if they want to, and then they may sit on it again. You never know.
So one of the questions is that I don't know if it's because I'm now, mind you guys, talk about
Caesar, can you fix your mic?
Caesar, yeah, your mic is cutting.
You sound terrible.
Is it me?
It's you.
Or someone's clipping.
Who's clicking? How about now?
Do the movie thing. Do a movie voice. No, you're terrible.
Maybe it's Sarkis.
Did you hit that button where it does like a vibrato type thing?
No, I don't touch any of these things. Oh, is that what you're hearing? You're hearing like a vibrato?
I am hearing feedback.
Wait, hold on. Hey, Sarkis, I'm gonna mute you for a second. I'm gonna mute you just for 1 second. How about now? Do you hear me? How about now?
You're the same.
I still hear the
a lot of feedback. You sound really far away.
Wow, this is interesting. All right. Well, how about now, you sons of bitches?
Yeah.
If I speak louder. Holy shit. Man. All right. Well, I guess I'll just have to speak up a little louder because apparently my mic is a little goofy. All right. So what I was saying was,
my man Taco Bell Guzman.
It seems to me that all of a sudden these movies, these books are coming out and they're out of the gate, $60.
Yeah.
$50 pre-sale. What's going on? And I'm like, now once again, I don't read. So I see this shit, and I'm going, am I missing out on something? Now you guys are all indie readers. You guys love indie. Mark, he writes. I mean, he's a creator. He writes books. I mean, help me understand. How does a book sell at 50 to 60 bucks at a pre-sale? Now, mind you,
Yeah.
Ish, you mentioned that you were able to see the book. You were able to see the book because you're a retailer of White Sky way before. So you got to read it, right? And after you read it, you're like, oh, this is going to be a hit.
I didn't say it was going to be a hit. I thought it was a good book.
Yeah. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like Caesar, like you were saying with the White Sky, and then there's another one I think coming out maybe next week. I think it's called Nectar, issue number 1 from Vault Comics. I checked on eBay just to look at it. I think it's going for like 45, 50 bucks.
40 bucks.
45, I don't know whatever it was. It was on a pre-sale that I don't know, like I'm not sure if it's because it's an indie comic book or it's because it's a low print run. Because DC and Marvel, they sell so many freaking copies. And I'm not sure if indie comic publishers sell that same amount of 10,000, 20,000, whatever it is.
Well,
Well,
it depends. Well, go ahead, Sam.
Nectar, I think, is just getting pumped because Nectar was available to retailers for 10 packs for like $1.
Oh, wow.
No. 10 packs for 10 bucks.
10 packs for $10.
Yeah.
So, I mean, who knows?
And like, when's the last time Vault dropped a good book? I mean, Vault hasn't dropped, with the exception of barbaric titles, Vault hasn't dropped a book in almost.
Now, I mean, I'll say like the Wayshak variants look amazing, and the Suspiria NSFW, variant is going off. But it is straight speculation. Who knows if this book is actually going to be good or if it's not?
Now,
I don't know.
Something that Sarkis touched on when he said low print run.
Low print run, yeah.
And here's the thing. Here's the thing that people, from a retailer perspective, and I've been on that side for some years now, and I'm also on the spec side of things. And for those who don't know what I do, I'm not going to explain it. We'll get into it, but there's a difference between a low print run and a finite print run. An example of a finite print run is the one that you guys would recognize would be Last Ronin #1, right? Another example would be White from Black Mask, right? The follow-up to the series Black. What a finite print run is in many cases a creative team will already set the print run before FOC, right? This is what happened with Last Ronin. Last Ronin's print run was finished. This is how books get allocated. The print run was done. They printed the total quantity, done. And then it went on FOC, and retailers ordered over what was printed. They don't go back. They don't just make more. They go to another print, and then that book gets allocated. So what happened with White #1 was, well, when Black Mask put out Black, when they were going to do the follow-up to White to Black with White in 2021, they sat down and said, okay, what were our numbers on Black? That is what we will print for White, because that is our expected sales. And what happened, it was printed before. So what it means before FOC, for y'all don't know, FOC is final order cutoff. It's when we as retailers get to put in our numbers for how many copies we want to order. If our numbers exceed what is already in print, then the book will be allocated, meaning we won't get our total number, so that they can make sure everybody gets at least some of their numbers, and then it goes back to print. So that there's a difference between a finite print run and a low print run. And also, a low print run is different than what is circulated. Right. What is circulated and what is in the print run may not be the same. So, so my guess with a book like White Sky, this is my guess, right? It's a book that dropped. We had a PDF. We got to read this book, right? My guess is that they had already had a finite print run. Most people don't know it had 4 covers. One of the covers was canceled after FOC.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, after FOC, they canceled a cover, right?
So there's 3?
Right. And the blank was always listed as allocations may occur, thus leading further credence to the idea that the print run was already finite before retailers ordered the book, because on FOC it literally said only
Hey,
for the blank
hey, Ish.
allocations may occur.
Hey, Ish.
Yeah.
White Sky's a horror. It's a horror, right? The whole thing is a. What's
Yeah,
the
it's a
premise?
horror.
Like
It's
the sky
a horror.
turns white and everybody becomes ghosts or something like that.
No.
Sky-
The ghost caused the sky
Yeah.
to turn. It cause it whenever the ghosts show up, it gets colder. Rain turns to snow.
Do you think the white sky phenomenon that we're seeing now, like Sarkis said about these books are in demand, their prices are going up, they're going through the roof before they're even available, kind of thing, or I mean, this is White Sky was out a while ago, right?
No,
Yeah.
came out last week.
You read
Last
you read the
week.
PDF. Then.
Yeah. So what I
You
think
had the
happened
P-
with White Sky, my thoughts.
Do
what
you
happened
think
with
it's the
White Sky-
genre? Do you think it's the genre, or do you think it's the
No.
print run?
I
No.
think it's what I think happened.
No,
with
I
White
think it's
Sky,
the market.
I think
The
the
market.
market, but I think the thing that drove White Sky was that we got a PDF. It was good. They canceled the cover. They told us that the blanks were going to be allocated. Retailers went to order more. Back issue out of stock. Somebody put it on the market,
Yeah.
30, 40 bucks. Somebody bought it
Yeah.
and off to the races.
Yeah.
I do not agree on that with Dork. I think Dork is an anomaly, but we'll get into that.
Dork, I was gonna ask you guys about that. I got it for cover price, $4 and something or $5. How did it go up to almost 80 to $100 in a few days? How did that happen? Does
I actually sold it 2 for the price of 1.
Oh wow! Like,
I
does
sold
anybody
White
know
Sky 2 for the
what-
price of 1 when it was a $40 book.
Yeah. Well,
But
for Dork,
that's ish.
for Dork, was it going for that $80 on pre-sale? It wasn't, right?
2 days later,
No.
2 days after
2 days
release,
later, right?
It went,
It
2
was
days
like
later
two
it was
days.
crazy,
It
but
went to
release
10
day it
bucks
was
to 30 bucks. Dork is
Yeah.
an anomaly. Dork is something I'll talk about. I want everyone else to talk about it
Did-
because
was
many
it-
people are
I
going
feel
to
like all
disagree with it.
all these books, if I use the word FOMO, it sort of minimizes the book, and I don't want to do that because these
Yeah.
are great stories, great creators, but there is a key element of FOMO here where somebody goes, "Oh, I don't want to miss this," and that's really what drives these book prices
Can you,
up.
can you,
I'm
can you
telling you,
put me at the bottom? Can you put me at the bottom?
real
You
quick.
want to
If
go on the
you,
bottom?
Yeah, I need to go at the bottom. I
If-
love
if
that,
you-
so I got to go at the bottom.
if you
No, I
wait
mean like off to put me in timeout.
that
Oh,
is-
okay.
That is
Ish,
Dork
am I
number one.
wrong? If you wait
People
You are
don't
4
understand
months,
what we're talking about.
if you wait 3 months, 4 months, those books are going to be around cover
Do you-
price again.
Do you guys think that Dork
think so?
and White Sky is going to go back to the cover price? You
I
guys
don't think
actually really
Dork
think
will.
that? You really
think
think
White
that
Sky-
it's
I
going to
think
go
White
down?
Sky
It's
will.
gonna go like that.
I think White Sky will. I don't think Dork will.
I think White Sky will go back down. I think Dork will settle. You're already seeing prices come down a little bit. But
Yeah, they're not around
What-
80 now.
So let me ask you guys. Well, first of all, is my mic better? Do I sound better?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me ask you guys. What makes a book get so hot and then dive within a couple of weeks? What is it? Was it buzz? Is it people? Is it the flavor of the week is over? What is it? I'm going to ask you, Mark.
Name
Hold
the
on,
book.
hold on,
You
hold
gotta
on, hold
give
on.
us examples.
Okay. As a matter of fact, right now, you guys are talking about White Sky. You don't think it's gonna be eventually it's gonna drop. I think, right? That's just me, but what the fuck do I know? I'm just an old guy who doesn't read. But I'm pretty sure there's books out there, and I'm pretty sure you have more examples than I do that were just came out of the gate hot as shit. I think Mark, you mentioned one earlier in the green room, but books that were just really hot, and then all of a sudden, it just fizzled out. Why is that?
Like comparing like the indie, like the Dork and all that, and the White Sky. When you look at Absolute Batman, it didn't go up like that, right? And then in a few days, it went up after a few months, wasn't it? After a few
Almost
months,
8 months.
8 months.
What was it?
Isn't that considered organic? A bit more organic growth, like.
Organic growth on a book that has a high circulation.
It has a high
amount of
circulation. It does. Yeah.
But books like Dork and White
circulation
Sky
still
don't
doesn't
have
mean anything.
they don't have high circulations, right? When Dork
Dork
first
for
came
sure
out,
does.
and
I don't know the exact numbers, but they mentioned, was it the second print? Was it 25,000 or something?
25,000 on the second print.
copies. Yeah.
On the
Which is
second
pretty
print,
low.
that's the second print, and
Pretty low.
that is crazy. Yeah.
That's pretty low when you look
That's-
at something that's killing the children, which has 60,000 copies
Right.
across all covers.
You're right. Right. Exactly.
But the thing what gets me is that, and you guys are all readers, and E-Man is basically saying that he honestly didn't think White Sky was that good. It's a few different
bad.
ideas recycled, but also it's only issue number 1. Do we need to allow the team to cook? So this is the thing.
You know what though, Caesar, Ish and I have said that though for a bit. Like Exquisite Corpses was a ton of different concepts recycled, but put together in a different way. Right? That's what we're seeing now, and it works.
How far off from Stranger Things is something that's killing the children?
I mean,
Like
this is not.
it's in the same sphere.
But what
Yeah,
makes
well,
it
we're
what makes it a
talking
good
about-
book? That's what I guess that's what I want to know.
Some of these
Dan,
books aren't
That's
books that
subjective.
are popping.
That is subjective because we're just talking about that Dan hates absolute Martian Manhunter, and the rest of you guys are like, that thing's fucking fantastic, and Dan's like, I don't get it, right?
What makes
So
a good book is subjective.
And, I'm
just
no
like
expert,
art.
so take that.
So
into
just like art,
consideration.
right? Art is subjective. Books are subjective, right? Everyone's opinion has one. I
I
get
hope that's
that.
my screenshot. Me reacting to Dan's
I mean,
poor
the,
taste.
the reason why I asked to get put on
Poor
the bottom
taste.
is because I really love Dan, and I hate, and Caesar can tell you because I invited Caesar to be a guest on my show where I covered this entire topic. I hate that people take the word FOMO and make it something pejorative. It's neither. It's neither good or bad, and it is a necessary ingredient in what makes things collectibles. Anything. Anything. It is necessary. You wanted that toy, that He-Man toy. That's why we love He-Man today. Because you wanted that toy and you didn't want to miss out. You wanted to get that ticket to go see that movie.
But Ish, with respect, you can't use FOMO and collectibles in the same sentence because the prices that are experienced due to FOMO are because it's not a collecting thing. What's happening is people are selling to make money. They're not trying to collect. If they were collecting,
they're
you wouldn't even have
selling
them
to
to buy.
people who are collecting because they think they're going to get some sort of realized value at some point.
Oh yeah,
They're not
I'll sell
just
this to
selling
make
it
money
to-
all day.
To Joe Blow.
See ya.
We see this a lot, right? We saw this with Department of Truth. We saw this with Something That's Killing the Children. We see this with a lot of titles where before the release or even right in the early release, it has hype and it drives the price up. And then
That,
you
we
wait
didn't
along.
see that with Something That's Killing the Children.
No,
Yeah, you did.
We didn't.
from the jump.
Early release was
No.
like the book for like $300. I remember
No.
when number 1 was for like 300 bucks.
Not
No.
no. Something That's Killing the Children came out in 2019, and it took almost a year before people started really
Yeah, it took a
pushing the
while.
prices up of
I'm
Something That's Killing the
literally
Children.
I can send the data, but I'm looking at the initial spike, the peak price for some of the ratio variants were like $300.
Something That's Killing the Children. There were no ratio variants of number 1.
I'm just telling
No.
you. I mean, I'm looking.
There were no
maybe-
ratio
maybe-
variants of number 1
Yeah, the
Dan,
ratio-
maybe you're
It
looking.
didn't get a
Maybe you're looking at
ratio.
a.
till number 6.
The ratio.
Dan, I
between
think
the-
you're looking at the porn list. I think you're looking at the wrong
The first
list.
ratio
my
is
man.
called the
Something
Ghost.
is killing the children. Porn.
The first ratio is
Yeah,
called
it
the
was-
Ghost, and that
it
didn't
rose
happen until
really
issue
quick,
number
Caesar.
6.
real quick.
Like issue number 6 was the first issue that they had a ratio and a 1 per store.
Well, again, I think what we tend to see though is then what happens is these reprints flood the market, and these prices begin to normalize and drop. And so again, like this is a tale as old as time. Now we're talking White Sky. You see Dork. We're going to be talking. What was it? What was the other book you called? Nectar. Yeah,
Hector.
these are all getting.
Something
You're getting
That's Killing the
early.
Children is
early
not a
interest.
fair example at all. It's like saying absolute Batman, and this is the reason why I'm saying
but
that,
hold on.
because go on, Sam.
E-Man, like influencers, I don't know if they're really driving the price up the way we think they are. Like eBay influenced White Sky. There were very,
Yes.
very few
Yes.
listings on eBay for cover price. Either someone wiped them out and then listed one for $10, and then right after the $10 one sold,
$40.
someone listed it for $29.99, and guess what? It
Yeah.
sold immediately, and then
Sam and I
after
talked
that,
about this.
every single book
Yeah.
was listed over $20.
But
Okay.
Something Is Killing the Children is not a fair comparison, and the reason why, and I'm going to say this like I said in the backstage area, you have to identify trends before they become trends. You have to pay attention to metrics. Sam and I debated about this for a while, with Dork in particular, right? So Something Is Killing the Children isn't a fair comparison. You have to. So here's the metric, and here are the trends. There are certain books that you can identify in the 21st century that have done something totally unique and different that we have not seen in comics. Something Is Killing the Children is one, right? It achieved a value at a faster rate and held that value and progressively increases than any book we've seen in the history of comics. In comics history, in all of the entirety of comics history, in a year's time, Something Is Killing the Children went from a $10 book to a $300 book to a $700 book in a year's time, and it has maintained that. Absolutely.
It went back to print super fast.
Yeah.
So Something Is Killing the Children first print sold out. Then the second print came out almost immediately after. Then the third, and once it hit like third, fourth print, then people were trying to find this first print of this book.
Yeah,
That-
that's
And
fine.
it was like
Batman.
a consistently $50 book, but
Same
it
thing with
didn't
Absolute
jump.
Batman. You got like
It
the
didn't-
10th
it
print
didn't
now.
jump.
But it didn't jump to like $400+ until COVID.
No.
because-
COVID was when issue 6 came out. It was one of the
Well,
COVID.
Yes, but that's when it jumped to like
Yeah, it started
literally
jumping.
$400, $500,
It was like
$600.
$75. But so this is an anomaly. Something
Yeah,
Is
E-Man,
Killing the
you're right.
Children did something in comics that no book before it had done. The next book that did that was Absolute Batman. Absolute Batman is doing things that we have not seen in comics. There are 8 million Absolute Batman titles sold, and look at its value.
Yeah.
Dork. I'm not saying Dork is a pop or is gonna. I don't know.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is Dork has done something we have not seen before.
In
No book.
indies. In
No
indies.
book that
Yeah.
we have not seen a book that comes out one day and the very next day a
Goes
second
out.
print is announced.
Yes.
Less than a week from release.
That's a
it's
little weird,
$100
no?
book.
I mean but
Invincible
but
took forever.
why?
Again.
Why? I'm asking you guys why. Why is Dork so popular?
We have to wait
I
and
don't
see.
know.
We have to wait and see. But to
I don't
say
think
You
that's
guys,
that
great.
you don't have
just
to.
say Dork is a FOMO based book and that it's just gonna flop.
Ish, what do you
Ignores
mean? What do you mean
metric.
we have to? What do you mean we have to wait and see? The
We
question
haven't seen
is
number 2 yet.
no, I understand that, but the question is why is number 1 spiking in
popular.
value right now? Why?
Well, these are
Like,
fair
right
questions.
now.
Why did Something Is Killing the Children impact the market the way it did?
I don't
Why
know.
did
I think
Absolute
you should ask
I-
those
what it did.
people, Dan, who are paying that money. Why are they paying so much for Dork?
FOMO.
I ordered an A copy because I read the advance. It looked pretty sweet. You could see that it was pretty low printed based on how many ratios were out there, and
Yeah.
only the stores and the shops and stuff that did exclusives had an abundance of those. Except for Ish, like Ish ordered a ton of them because of his pre-sales.
Again, I mean, with all due respect, and I'm not trying to be an asshole. I'm just simply saying we're using a lot of words here, and we're saying the same stuff. What's happening is these books get announced. There's not a lot of them. Somebody takes the book who's read it,
Man, yep.
and somebody takes a book who's read it. Let me just finish this thought, please, because my head's going to fall off. And they post about it, and it creates momentum. Somebody mentioned about the influencers or whoever. Somebody who's got a lot of followers creates the buzz. The buzz spikes the price, and the price is getting spiked because of a sentiment in people's mind that we call FOMO. That this is a tale as old as time.
Yeah,
I'm
but
not
how
saying
is that
Dork is
true
a
in
bad
Dork's
book.
case when it goes back to print the next day? How is that true?
I haven't really seen that. Like it's just saying the next day it goes to print. I haven't
Like,
seen that.
how is that the case for Dork?
It's crazy.
Is there some insider trading we don't know
think
about?
this. Hold on, think about this. So
Yeah.
it goes back to print, but it still only does 25K in orders, and now because of that, it's a $20 to $30 book because people missed out on that too. Like
Let me ring it. I'm going to ring it back up.
the demand
I'm
was
gonna ring it
necessarily
back.
there.
I'm going to ring it back a little bit. I'm going to pull the reins. And I'm going to ask you, Mark, What is it about an indie book for you that draws you in, that makes you want to read the next following? What is it? What's that? What grabs you by the nards that go, oh, this is
Well,
all
I
right.
mean, for
Yeah,
me,
man.
you know, it's creator. You know, if it's creators, I know
Twig
it's the
was there.
tagline. You know, like what's the story? You know, is it something that interests me? You know, seeing some of the art. What's the art look like? You know, again, like if it's a creator I know and they're doing something of their own, then that's something I may be drawn to.
Well,
Yeah.
well, let me
Similar
ahead,
to
Circus.
Mark. Similar to Mark.
Yeah.
Caesar, what he said. Like I like supporting, like you said, a lot of creator owned, which are indie, a lot of them. Yeah, I like supporting them. I'm really interested in indie because I feel like I'm getting the full depths, like everything, like almost everything that they're writing. I feel like it's really genuinely from them. I feel like they have maybe some more input. They can do a little bit more, maybe on the
Leave
indie
that
side.
comment up, Caesar.
Yeah,
Like-
I'm leaving it.
Like they can do a little bit. I'm not sure how it works with Marvel and DC with how much you can actually put into your book compared to maybe indies. Maybe indies you're allowed to put a lot more without get any restrictions. I'm not sure how it works in those like inside the company part, but I feel like in the indie side, I feel like I'm getting so much like great quality stuff. Like it's really good. I enjoy it.
Let me ask the panel: is there a certain topic that you might read in a synopsis that you're like, I'm out. I'm not even going to entertain this book, right? Is there something specific in there, and not to get too deep, but like for example, Ish, you said it earlier, I'm not into zombie books. You know, I
I have to read them.
but
'cause
you
that's
have
all-
to read them. But is there certain stuff like that you kind of like, I'll read it for the sake of who I am and what I do in this community. But if it was up to me, I wouldn't even bother or entertaining reading it.
Twig.
Werewolves, vampires, Twig.
There's a lot of stuff I don't bother reading.
What is yours, Sam? What's that?
It
What's
has to be
that?
compelling. Like the synopsis for me has to be a compelling take on something I'm actually interested in. Like I'll read books of all different genres. If it doesn't sound enticing to me in the solicit or if I look at the preview and I'm like, okay, the art's not great. I read 3 pages of this and it doesn't seem like it's going to fit for me. Yeah.
Good
I don't need to
point.
read it.
How many pages do you have to be in for it to grab you? Or is
Sam's
it a
gonna
full?
finish it if he starts it.
Okay.
Yeah. If I start it, I'm going to finish it.
Okay.
But
Are
is it
you
good?
are you a 4 or 5 page? Like if I don't get it by 5 pages, I'm out.
I
Are
get the
you like
preview
that,
of it.
Circus?
Sorry, I'll be honest. If you want me to be honest,
Yeah.
I need when I open that cover, like when I open the first page and the first few pages, I need it to grab me. I need it to grab me. I need it.
See, I don't need it to do that as long as you
Yeah,
stick to
for
landing.
me. Yeah,
As long as you
I
stick
always-
to
I
landing, because
go with the rule of
different
three.
creators
If-
have their process.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And sometimes it's that slow burn. You know what I mean?
I'll
But
give the title
I
3
think it's
issues.
the solicit
3
more
issues.
than anything for me.
3
Like,
issues. If it doesn't keep me in 3 issues, I toss it.
I'm with Dan on that.
Yeah.
I just want to
Yeah.
I want to speak to this comment really quick.
that's if I want to give it a chance, though. Like if I
How do you
read
get through the book? Yeah.
if I
fair.
read the ad for it and I'm like, okay, this is something that sounds like it's gonna fit my tastes. I read issue 1, I'm like, okay, you know, then I'll give it the 3 issue try. But if not, nah.
are you the same, Mark? The 3 issues.
So I mean, I usually go at least three to 5 issues. But I know, like as a writer, that issue 1 is usually tougher because you got to do the setup. You know, you've got to get all the stuff in there that you need to get in there. So for me, I'll read the whole issue, but it does like first 3 to 5 pages, like really just needs to grab me. Like there has to be something that piques my interest and I want to keep reading.
All right. So let's get into this comment because it's actually a good one. Why Dork and not Twig? Twig was a fantastic raid created by wonderful
Twig
creators, but it
That's a
doesn't
good
have the same.
I've been
value.
waiting to respond to that. First of all, I want to give E-Man's World a shout out because I've been reading a lot of his comments, a lot of their comments. I don't know, guy, girl, I don't know pronoun, all that, but
Their
been
comment.
bringing a bunch of valuable insight to the stream and to the chat. So I really appreciate that. That having been said, I totally this comment for me. So here's the thing. The question to me is kind of oxymoronic in that why didn't influencers do the same thing for Twig? If Twig was such a great read, and first of all, it's not even a fair comparison because Twig was printed to the high heavens. That was actually an example of FOMO. It was Scotty Young. People thought it was going to be dope. It was ordered over. It was ordered to the high heavens, to the high heavens. It also came out alongside Grimm, which just beat it in the aftermarket out the gate. They both came out the same day, right? Grimm #1 and Twig #1, and Grimm just beat it to death in the aftermarket. Didn't have nearly as high of a print run, or excuse me, circulation, because people didn't order as many copies of Grimm #1 as they did of Twig #1, because it's a new Scotty Young book. I personally thought the book was terrible, but like I am
what Twig or Grimm?
Twig. I personally
You thought Twig was terrible?
Yeah, I thought Twig was terrible, but that's
I was not a
okay
big fan
because plenty of people did not think so, and that's fine. You know, what I mean, my opinion isn't the standard. What I'm saying is you can't compare Twig to Dork. Twig has a ridiculous print run.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we're comparing Twig to Dork or Dork to
he
White
is.
Sky.
He is. He's saying,
but I think
why
what
not?
we're
I'm
doing
speaking
here,
specifically to this comment.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And in this comment, he's saying, why Dork and not Twig? And the metrics are completely different. Twig was ordered to the high heavens. And if it's about influencers, why didn't influencers push Twig? And I think it's because the numbers, Twig is way up here in numbers, and Dork is not.
So yep, go ahead.
No, Sarkis, go ahead. It's fine.
Do you guys think, maybe this is just me, do you guys think that the indie comic side is getting a lot of love? Like it's shifting? Do you guys ever think about that?
It's shifting back.
Like,
You know,
I think, okay, look,
I
we
think
all
we
talk
were
about Marvel.
we were
and
there
DC,
years
right?
ago,
Mhm.
and now
But-
we're right in the thick of it again.
Yeah, that's, well, I just started reading, I got into comics like a little over a year ago. I'm still new to this, but I'm learning.
Got it.
But
Th-
yeah,
Well, that's what I was
So-
gonna say.
so-
Is it me? Is it me or
Well,
is
Dork isn't a
indie-
terrible story, E-Man. It's not the best in the
Yeah.
world, but it isn't terrible. The
I mean,
Gaza Strip
Caesar, like when I met
parallels,
Ish,
I think, are driving it.
huh?
when Facebook Live was probably like the biggest thing ever in comics, right? Everyone had a stream, and what was driving it? A lot of indie books. Like there was a new indie out pretty much every single week, and it was like spec heaven for a bit. You had the strength of small publishers like Vault and Scout and Ish. Who else was there? I mean, there were so many.
Source Point Press,
Source Point
Black
Press,
Mask,
Antarctic
Black
Comics,
Mask,
like Black Mask. The
Aftershock.
amount of indie
Aftershock.
publishers that were putting out. Oh yeah, Aftershock. We Live. That's another one. You know,
So-
great story,
Sam,
Phenomenal story.
crazy value, and that's worth nothing now.
so Sam,
but like
the
indie was at a
third-
height.
I'm not saying that.
So Sam, the third largest distributor, as in sales wise, is it Marvel DC, or is it DC Marvel then Image, as in sales?
I think sales
Right now,
now.
it's DC.
At DC.
DC.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Number two
Yeah,
is
that-
Marvel, right?
Marvel.
Images are selling
Yeah.
Marvel. If you talk
Is
about
Image number
Skybound.
3?
Skybound outsells anything Marvel puts out.
From overall sales, though, from
Yeah.
orders, Marvel is still.
Yeah, overall Marvel would be second.
Marvel?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
is Image third place or no?
I
Oh,
think, and I was saying in the backstage, I think that Image, I think we're seeing, again, identify trends before they become trends. I think
Yeah.
we're seeing an opening in the market.
Yes.
Image moves from third place into
Uh-huh.
the same breath as Marvel and DC, with DC having its best year in the 21st century and
Right.
Marvel having its worst year in the 21st century. The viable alternative
100% true on
is
that.
Image Comics.
I
Right.
also think
Good
there's an
stories from
element
Image.
of indie.
Yeah,
comics.
but I don't know if like
Hey, guys.
you can't hold that.
I think there's an element of indie comics that makes it a little bit more accessible for the reader in terms of like if you look at Marvel and you look, I'll give you an example like X-Men. there's 4 or 5 X-Men titles, and then all the side character titles that are going, and it's a hard universe to kind of keep involved with. Same thing with DC and the action Superman Unlimited. The same thing with Batman, Detective Comics. I mean, not that there's anything wrong with it, but it's hard to
Alex Correa, shout out to you.
to keep all that in line. But I think with indie comics, you read a title, it's that universe, right? Very rarely you'll see it, but rarely do you see like a bunch of titles that tie in.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's a little bit more accessible for the reader to kind of jump in and start with.
It is, but that's also why you'll never see Image overtake Marvel as number
among
two.
other reasons.
Because, well, because there's so many different little series. Also, delays on those series have absolutely crushed retailers and have crushed fandom.
And ending series like Saga,
and
Walking
ending
Dead.
series like so many of these indie books are 6-issue minis, and then what? It's gone, and then those sales are gone. So you have to look to what's next. There's no way that Image is going to be,
So for Alex,
someone who's pulled Spider-Man for the past 20 years.
Yeah, I want to get there. We talked about it in the green room. You have a lot of the gatekeepers or the old heads, as they would call them, right? I'm not looking at you, Mark. But there's a lot of people out there who are afraid to get into indies, or afraid to get into a new character, new this, new that, because they've been reading Spider-Man and Iron Man and Silver Surfer and Captain America and so on since they were 8. And that's what they're sticking with. I've been reading Batman, and that's all I'm going to read. I don't want to care. I care less about Invincible. I'll watch a cartoon, but I don't care about the character. I don't want to know about something's killing the children. This whole dork thing is ridiculous. I'm not going to spend $40 for a first print. I'm assuming it's a lot of a new generation who are getting into, and I know you guys are a lot of an older generation who read, but I would think there's a new generation of readers out there, that are sticking with this, who are sticking with the indies. Do you guys agree with me on that?
We'll have to get on. We'll have to stream live to TikTok at the same time, because right now there are comic groups talking about quality of story, and most of that is within the indies. You look at Assorted Crisis Events and Camp,
Everything
and
Dead and Dying.
What he's doing there, and then because of the trending, what was trending about how great his stories are, Martian Manhunter popped. Absolute Martian Manhunter.
Ultimates, Martian Manhunter, Bleeding Hearts, Sort of Crisis Events.
Yep. But there is this new wave of comic readers and comic collectors. On TikTok, there's a issue. Would love this. I forgot to tell you about this. It's called the A Cover Gang, or Cover A Gang.
I'm in that. I'm in the gang.
Right? Exactly. We formed that gang.
Yeah.
But there's definitely new trends, and I think it's exciting. I think indie books are the best thing about comics in the past several years, besides Absolute.
So are you guys surprised with some of these cover A's going more than cover 1 and 50s, 1 and 1? Is anybody here surprised with that? No,
I've been screaming cover A
we've
for
been
5, 6, 7 years.
for a long time.
Cover A. All things being equal, cover A.
Yep.
Period. Cover A. It's interesting, right? Because and just to tie the knot on that stupid dork twig conversation, because I think it's a dumb conversation, even on my end. Just to tie the knot, right? We got to take away feelings and talk about metrics, right? Because Alex says something really smart. He said racial variance increased the numbers in dork, and E-Man said so. It's about print run versus a good story. A good story is subjective, right? So if you eliminate your feeling about twig versus dork and you just compare, let's say all things are equal, then the metrics are obviously, if all things are equal and both of them are good, then the lower print run is going to have more value. Doesn't matter that there were 1 in 1,000s and 1 in 500s that caused the other one to have a higher print run. It's just about supply and demand.
Yeah.
at the end of the day.
Yeah, but
there is
but
not enough
there's a ton of
supply.
low print
to
run
meet
books we've
demand.
never heard of.
Yeah, but we're talking about the ones we have heard of.
Yeah,
We're
and
talking
that's
about
the
specifically
factor.
Dork and Twig.
But see that right there is a factor. It's less about the print run. It's just like the market. It's less about the fundamentals and it's more about the consumer sentiment. It's the same thing with these comic books. Like, do we feel like we need to get this book? And if so, the price goes up. I mean, the print run matters too, especially
Well, the
if
price
those
goes
things
up
get hot.
based upon supply and demand matters as well.
Yeah, but I guess what I'm simply saying is I don't think print run matters as much as the buzz, right? If a buzz, like somebody mentioned GameStop in the beginning, GameStop was bankrupt, but it just got momentum for a number of reasons, and
Right.
it took
So
off.
but that's why I said if all things being equal, if Dork and Twig had the same buzz, right? Which Twig had a greater buzz, to be honest, but let's just say they had the same buzz, there is not enough supply of Dork to meet demand. There is enough supply of Twig to meet demand because of one in the thousands. And
So why is Absolute Batman #1 going for crazy price
not enough
when
supply
they
to
printed,
meet demand?
even though they printed a shitload, right?
They printed like 350,000.
Is that's not? Yeah, I mean,
of the
More
first
than
print. Of the first print.
350,000 people want the first print.
Yeah, first.
There's more than 350,000 people who just read Batman.
alone, right?
Right.
Yeah, and I think
Yeah.
with that too, like with DC, because DC had those kind of not necessarily misses, but they had like all those, revamps and stuff like that that people didn't really buy into. They were hesitant on Absolute, and they were like, well, let's wait and see how this goes. And now it's like, well, now I got to get back into it. I want to get everything because, I
That's
missed out.
why
Yep.
Absolute Batman #1 was like $25-$30 right out the gate on release day, because after reviews started rolling in and people were like, oh, this is a cool take on Batman, you went to go find it and retailers didn't even order it.
And then 6 months later, people started tearing off every other cover to make A covers.
Right. Let me ask you guys, why did it take? Was it a slow burn? It took 6 months for people to go, hey, this shit's pretty good.
Yeah, man. There was tons of copies.
what,
of issues
Batman?
of Absolute Batman.
Well,
I didn't even sell
remember-
out of.
Oh, yeah.
remember, and as Absolute Batman kept rolling out, they kept building the Rogues Gallery. They kept, do all.
Yeah.
It kept getting. It was just continuing to gain steam. They're like, oh my gosh, can it get any better? Yes, it can.
It was
snowballed.
hey, the first story arc wasn't great. It was
Yeah.
good.
Oh, first
It just
story arc was
wasn't
great.
great.
What was it called? The Zoo.
It wasn't great.
So good.
It was
So
when
good.
Bane, but it took off when Bane came.
When Bane came,
Bane
that
came-
put more eyes on it. And then the book started rising. But then, honestly,
Absolute Wonder Woman was a better book.
what sent it to
Thank
the
you.
stratosphere was
Thank you.
when the white supremacist story got shared. When
Yeah,
Batman
and
is
that was November of 2025. It came out
correct,
in
but that's
2024.
when you saw Absolute Batman #1 go from like
$80
maybe $80
to like
to-
150 raw.
Wait, 25 or 24-ish.
Came out end of 2024.
Yeah. Okay.
And it wasn't until November of 2025 that people were that it started flying off the shelves.
Yeah,
Like,
it literally it was
flying off
getting
the shelves.
shared all over the place. It was trending.
I want to
it got
do.
national news spotlight.
Hey, Sam, very quick. I want to do an experiment. Hey, Sarkis, put yourself on mute if you can. I want to see if it's you. Might be your mic. Oh, it is him.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sarkis, it's because you're using your mic on your laptop. It's giving a feedback, like you're talking through a tin can. That's what it was. So you can yeah.
Yeah.
No, we can hear
But
you.
what
It's just that
happened
there's
is-
feedback.
They get
If
feedback.
you want, Sarkis, what you can do is put yourself on mute, and when you want to say something, unmute yourself. If you don't mind, thank you. Oh, there you go. I guess this is why I don't read. I don't like when mommy and daddy fight. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those things that when I read, I have to. Then I start having opinions and all that shit. But I do find it funny that I find it funny that Ish is like, oh, that story wasn't that great until, and then you have the other guys going, that story's great.
It's
And I'll use it once again to Master Manhardner. Sam's like, Dan, you're a fucking idiot. That's such a good story.
By no
And
means an idiot.
no, yeah, a little bit.
By
But
no
Dan's
means.
like, I just don't get into it. So that brings me to the other thing. What's another big indie book that came out that
Caesar.
everyone? Yeah.
Caesar, real quick, I just want to say, and again, a public service announcement. I think this is why it's really important to collect what you love.
Exactly.
Because
Absolutely.
if you are chasing the next best thing, and again, I'm not knocking it. Again, do you? If you want to collect for value, go for that. You want to do whatever you want to do. But if you are one of these people, like you mentioned a comment earlier, so what turns you off when you're looking at a book that you don't get? Typically for me it's horror. But I take that and I look at that and I go, okay, but I like this writer, or the premise seems interesting. I might like my foot in that pond. I mean, the point of the matter is I'm not chasing what I think where the value is going to be. I'm just looking to be entertained and enjoy what I'm doing. And I think that's the important lesson here, because if you do that, then a lot of these crazy erratic spikes that don't really make a lot of sense, they'll sort of normalize and go away. But because everybody's trying to chase the value, that's where you get these.
People should collect for whatever reason they choose to spend their money to collect.
It's their money. It's their money, right? Or read, in this case, read wherever makes you happy. I mean, that's just the way it is, right? So
there's a reason why Wizard Top 10 was such an important part of our childhood, and why Cover Price and CBSI and all those top 10s.
I don't pay attention to any of them.
Or the Key Collector trending. You look at the trending 20.
I look at the trending 20, yeah.
Yeah, so there's a reason why those are so crucial, and it's a lot of it's value, or a lot of it is what's that next key gonna be,
I was just having I got so many things I want to bring up, but I remember saying recently in one of I think it's actually Sarkis's chat, where I said that movies and TV shows don't move the needle on books anymore like it used to. Back in 2018, 2019, when they just announced so-and-so got picked up, all of a sudden that book was like, everyone goes to eBay and starts picking up the books, and then you can't find it, and now it's selling for $40 and all that. Nowadays, it doesn't move.
Movies and TV still are greatly responsible for raising the ceiling on the value of our books, for sure. 100%.
But not like it used to be.
So no, not moving the needle on the short-term market.
I think because
they raise the value, they raise the ceiling on the long-term market. They don't they don't move the needle on the short-term value anymore. But for instance, and I've said this before, we as comic collectors in the entire comic collecting community don't have enough money in our pockets to make Amazing Fantasy 15 a $3.6 million book. We don't have enough money in our pockets to make Action Comics sell for $15 million. It's when people outside of the community, when those characters become mainstream, when they become pieces of art, or they achieve some sort of value because they are recognized outside of our community, that the ceiling is raised on what the value can be. Because within our community, we can't make AF-15 a $3.6 million book. We just can't. We could not make a guy who collects comics didn't buy Action Comics #1.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So I have a question for everybody here. Do you all think that we're gonna see this more often with the prices on pre-sale going up? I'm just curious. Like, is this gonna be happening more often, or that this is it?
No, I think it's gonna happen throughout the year.
Throughout the year?
Yeah, but I think there's metrics involved, right? Image has been really hot, right? This isn't the first Image book to hit. It's the first Image book to hit in the way that it did. But again, Exquisite Corpses hit, Assorted Crisis Events hit, Power Fantasy hit. Like we can from 2025 till now.
Yeah, but it took a while for those to hit, though.
Power Fantasy hit day one. Day one. It's never been a high price book, but it was certainly not cover price within the next week. It just was never a high price book. It was $10, $15 book. You know what I mean? Especially because they hid those chasers in there.
The secret variant was drove a lot of that.
Say again?
The secret variant drove a lot of
that.
chasers.
The chasers. They did.
Let me ask you guys, and this is a whole, and I'm going to start with Dan and work my way down. Which is that one indie book that hit that people were going ape shit over, and you read it and you went, I don't understand what the big hype is. There's got to be out there. I'm going to start with you, Dan. What's that one book that people are like, man, you got to read it. Dan, you got this book, the story, and you're like, I read it. It's not that I don't get it.
I tell you, I don't know. I mean, because I don't. This is terrible to say, and not to kill the question off before we get any kind of steam on it, but I don't. People will tell me to read something, and I'll read it. And I mean, you know, but nobody really knocks down my door and says, "Oh, you got to get this book." And I don't know if there is a book that I'll buy that, you know, it's out of the gate early and it's got that high price point because it's getting, you know, again, I don't want to use the word FOMO, but it just got some momentum that's driven that price up early on. I'll just wait on it. I won't probably go get it. So I guess if your question is, if I'm, and I don't mean to like rejigger your question, but if you're saying, what's the book, the indie book that it was hot, you read it and you were like, what's the hype about? I don't really do that per se, but I always read a lot. I don't know, man. I mean, I enjoy the books I read, and I don't really think of books as like good or bad. I just think of them as like maybe they're not for me, and I just move on to another title. You know, I feel like you know, early on when I used to write about books, I would post like I'd give them like a numerical rating, and I figured out pretty quick that's kind of a shitty thing to do because, you know, you're kind of crapping on creators' work, and you know, like I think Ish said earlier, it's subjective. Like what people like and don't like is a subjective thing. So now I just write about the books. I don't really grade them anymore.
You don't really grade it, right?
Yeah.
Now, how about you, Sam? What's that one book that you just didn't like? I don't get it.
Hold on, I got both kids saying goodnight to me. Move on. Ish.
All right, let's go, Ish. What's that one? What's that one?
First of all, Kamikaze, I got to give you props on that. I'm a fan. I was a fan early on of Something Is Killing the Children, but from just a straight up critical perspective, and I think we're in a TikTok reading generation. Sam and I were talking about this the other day, where some of the hottest books are these books that you can read in 5 minutes, right? Like, there's nothing really great, right? If you compare Something Is Killing the Children to, say, Department of Truth, not a fan of Department of Truth, but Department of Truth is just a much better written book. You can read initial Something Is Killing the Children in 3 fucking minutes. You know what I mean? Just starting with number one, like it's there's really not much depth to it, but you know, I was a fan of the book. To answer the question, Nottingham.
You didn't get it, huh?
Terrible, just terrible. I'm sorry, it was terrible, and Nottingham would be the one for me, right? That I can think of right away.
Okay, Sarkis.
I haven't had too many. Maybe there's some that I guess didn't grab my attention as I wanted it to. But I don't like someone mentioned earlier, I don't want to discredit the writer or the artist because they really put in so much work and editors. So yeah, I don't want to do that. I don't want to bash anybody. I've had a few comics where like, oh, like I was like, oh, okay, all right.
It's not necessarily bashing.
It's not.
It's exactly the topic we're talking about. It's subjective.
I mean, Caesar, I called you one time. Do you remember? And again, I'm not going to out anybody here, but I was at a convention one time and somebody called me over and goes, hey, and was pitching me their book. And I read the book. And listen, I'm not going to say who, but I read it. And Mark, you know, forgive me because, you know, as a creator, I definitely I respect all the creators. But I read this, and it wasn't you, Mark, by the way. It was not.
It wasn't my book, was it? Yes.
But I read the book.
I'll show myself out.
I was embarrassed that I read the book, and it was spinning in my head, and I had to call Caesar. I'm like, Caesar, if I don't freaking tell you about this book, I will forever not be able to get this off my mind. And I felt relief after talking to Caesar. So I've read those kind of books like that, but I just don't want to talk about it, out somebody.
But
I'm pissed about that.
But hold on. But to go back to your thing, Sarkis, you're not talking crap about anything. I mean, Dan not liking Absolute Martian Manhunter is not crapping on the writer. It's just it didn't do anything for him. That's all it is. I mean, you know, it's not so much.
And clearly I'm wrong because everybody else likes it. So
yeah, apparently like it.
Heathen's Comics, I got to tell you, this is something that has bothered me. Really pisses me off. I don't want to tell other retailers how they should operate and do things that they need to do to keep the lights on, but I'm a retailer and it's about principle to me. And I feel like if you're a customer and you have a pull list and you're in many comic stores stay afloat, not because of what they sell off the table, but because of their pull lists. That's really what keeps comic stores afloat. It's very hard to order for a table for walk-in
Yeah.
customers, you know. And so when someone has a pull list and you decide to do something like that because of I can make $10 or $15 on a book, I can tell you, I call myself the Robin Hood of the unfair market. I had White Sky #1 the day it came out, 2 for the price of 1. $2 a book. Cover A, cover B, $2.
Wow.
$4 for
Robin Hood of the unfair market, right there.
Here's Robin Hood, the unfair
I
market.
don't
That
care
is true.
what the unfair market says the price of the book is. You show up in my stream every Tuesday night at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I do spec books. My show is called #All of the Spec. I'm gonna make sure you have the hottest books at the best value on the unfair market. Do it over Dork. I got over 150 copies of Dork #1 second print coming in. It's going for $40. I will be selling it for 25% off cover, and I will sell it till I sell out. Period.
Yeah.
Because that is just how I choose to operate. I sold Absolute Batman #1, 2 for the price of 1. Absolute Wonder Woman #1, 2 for the price of 1.
If I collected modern books, I would be a rich man. If I listened to Ish, I'm gonna go to you, Mark. What's that one big story that's that you're like, it was all right. I don't get the hype.
Well, I mean, and I think maybe the hype is what killed it for me. But like when Saga came out, like I read it and it wasn't like anything that like grabbed me and was like, oh my God, this is like the greatest thing written in 30 years. And I don't know if it was the hype coming into it, I don't know. I just, it wasn't for me. And then kind of like to touch on what Dan said, and I feel bad, but like it shows a lot of times I'll get handed indie books by people that are just coming in and trying to do this. And some of them, I mean, are really bad. And it's like, I don't tell the person that, but I try to give like, hey, maybe, like, what's the story you're trying to tell? How can, maybe there's other ways that we can,
Say it again, Mark. Say it again.
You can do.
Hey.
Hey, maybe don't
you got to come in friendly, and nice, and like, hey, you know what? This is. I see what you're doing here, but there may be a better way that we can, that we can do that.
Mark's like, tell me you're bad without telling me you're bad, dude.
Like erase everything you've written.
Mark,
I
I
just
feel like
erase
even
all
bad,
of this.
Mark, even bad criticism from you, I think I would still welcome you. Like, hey, come here, sport.
Yes. Yeah. So let me show you this and this, and maybe if we move this over here, and this panel is down here, and but I mean, it's like it's great that they want to do it, and I'd like to see them succeed. And it's just like sometimes I think it's better, and it's hard for me to do it, but I think sometimes it's better to tell them that the art isn't that good, that that it's
bad.
Yeah, like I mean, I would rather tell them nicely than someone come up, pick up their book and be like, well, what the fuck is this? Like, and throw it down or something.
Well, funny. Yeah, then spit on it and like rub it with your heel.
I feel like, hey.
Oh, you light it on fire, and yeah.
I feel like, hey, is equivalent to what the fuck is this? Like, I feel like, he's like, hey.
So this is a good segue. So you guys all saw or heard the comment that Todd McFarlane said about.
We skipped Sam.
Yeah, you can go ahead, Sam.
What's the big?
Now he wants to come back in the ring.
Yeah,
such a shit. Barbaric was that book for me. I agree with Ish Nottingham. I was right there with him. We both said it at the same time, like together. I don't know why this book is so hot, but Barbaric was the other one for me, and it was almost around the same time, right?
And I didn't hate Barbaric.
I didn't hate it, but I didn't get why it went so crazy.
And then E-Man mentioned Feral. Do you guys like Feral?
None of us talked about Stray Dogs. Stray Dogs is one of those books that actually
Stray
Dogs
Dogs
did.
are
was
hurting
terrible
animals,
to
I'm
issue
out.
3.
True, but like in terms of the price pop, Stray Dogs actually did similar to what Dork is doing. Like it went
with
off.
with all those
It went
homage with those
fast.
all those homage books
Fast.
that they did, all those
Yeah,
homage
all those
covers.
covers. Yeah.
That was pretty clever. I got to admit that was kind of cool. You know, that they
Yeah,
had all those
but
different
that's an
covers.
example where the A cover won out at the end.
Yep.
Because it's always cover A. A
Well,
cover
now no one's
eventually.
winning.
Well, okay. So you guys heard what that Todd
That's a
McFarlane said
cautionary
about
tale.
Todd McFarlane said about, and I quote, "I can sell a comic drawn by Michelangelo and written by my dog." Todd McFarlane on why art beats story every time.
Disagree 100%.
I agree with Ish, 100%. I think that's a wrong
Are
comment.
we all in agreement there that it's that you could have some shitty art but a great story and you'll still read it?
Nope.
Sandman. The Sandman.
I don't even pay attention to art anymore like that. I mean, all the covers look the same, especially if it's an art. You know, let me stop. I don't really even notice. I have to look to see who the artist is. I want my art to be so fluid because I'm so I don't want to be distracted by it. I don't want it to take away from my ability to read good writing.
Yeah, but you two are readers.
Yeah, I'm a
Like,
reader.
Yeah,
I'm just
Not a
saying,
looker.
I
I'm
mean,
not so.
most-
Oh, these are pretty pictures.
I
But
like
let's-
most are lookers.
I like to read a good story, but sometimes the cover does sometimes gravitate me to it to at least open it up.
Yeah,
Sometimes, I'll be honest on some of the comics.
Someone
I mean,
who
look
doesn't
at-
read
Look at Nectar
at
right
all.
now.
All right, I'm a prime example. It's a modern book, but I get it. If I was to collect modern books, I would probably pick it up for the art because I like the art.
You know what we
And you
should
know,
do?
and you
here?
know for a fact I'll never fucking open it. So that does to show you that I'm one of those guys that'll buy it for the art cover, the cover art.
we
What,
should
Sam?
we should pull a ton of books and just give you the cover, and based on the cover you tell us would
If
you
it's
read it
good.
or not, and then if you say you'll read it or not, we'll give you the average review, like the score.
Oh, you know what?
Yeah.
I see a future show, my man. I see a
I
future
thought you
show
were
in the
gonna say-
works.
I thought you were going to say, show Caesar the cover and have him tell us what it's about.
Oh, that would be even better.
Yeah.
It's
be
very
amazing.
simple. It's about a Viking barbarian dork, dogs, stray dogs.
Yeah.
It's very simple. So what do you I'm going to talk to Mark because you're in this field in a different way. What are your thoughts about that whole art better than story win all the time?
So, I mean, I don't think McFarlane's wrong because I think people would buy books, that were drawn by him that may be, written terribly. But I think as a reader, myself, and looking for, entertainment out of it, I want both. I want, good art and a good story. He's not wrong. Like people would buy a crappy book for amazing art. But I think you need both. Like, yeah, I mean, I think you need both. Like you want good writing to go with the good art. I've read books that were written well and the art wasn't that great, but then I could read a book if I wanted that. You know what I mean? So it's kind of comics are a visual medium, and you want that really good art to go with the story. Like when I'm writing, I write very descriptive because like in my mind, I see, how I want this to look on the page. I could write a book and put the descriptive stuff in there, but for comics, I want it to be both. Like I want it to be a good story with good art.
Yeah, and like you're saying, Mark, you say you're a writer, right? You do writing. So as a writer, you want an artist that can be compatible with your storyline, correct?
You want to see your ideas
Right.
Come to life.
translated really dope on page, right? Like you
paper.
want to see that manifest and be like, wow, that came out of my head. You know what I mean?
Because I'm assuming Mark, because when you write, you kind of have those panels in your head, right? So
yeah.
you would hope that it would transcend with someone and you go exactly what I had in my head.
Are you ever pleasantly surprised and are you ever disappointed?
So I don't think I've ever been disappointed. Just because when I go to an artist, it's somebody that I want to work with, and like for example, I didn't know what to expect with the Western that I'm doing with Alex Regal. I
Which
love
is
Alex's
beautiful.
art, but I didn't know, what to do with that. I've worked with other artists where they're like, I don't draw horses, I don't draw motorcycles. I'm telling you right up front, these are the things I'm not going to draw. So so don't put those in your story because I'm not going to draw those. But like with Alex, like I really liked his art. And then he painted like all the pages, which made it, pop even more.
Wow.
But it's like in my mind, I wanted to work with Alex. And so sometimes I think I write to the artist's strength as well.
Was
And
that
so
a
it's
challenge
like,
for you to do a Western without a horse?
no, there's horses in there. Alex has no problem drawing anything, so we're good there. But I've had other artists that have told me like right off the bat when I've said, "Hey, I've got an idea, I want to pitch," and they're like, "I'm going to tell you right now, I don't draw motors, I don't draw motorcycles, I don't draw, I don't want to do this detailed stuff." And so
I'm not really good at drawing people. I don't like landscapes. You're like, wait a minute, what's happening here?
So
You know what? I don't want to do anything outside of the word bubbles.
yeah, I'm going to do a book about clouds. It's just going to be
And
all
by the way, I don't
clouds.
draw word bubbles.
these are, from your to add on to your question, what you're saying. I like to give all comic books a chance, whatever it is, Marvel, DC, or Image, any indie, whatever indie it is. But some of the covers speak to me differently, like it does. Like sometimes covers do speak like
Yeah.
high volumes. It depends on the coloring, the details, if you have a great cover, it just makes the story so much better. I think the art does play almost the same as the story. I think it has to be the same.
I will
Well,
say
it's the art that grabs you. I mean, let's be honest. That's the reason why you would stop and
That's-
take a look at it.
But that's
I'm more pleasantly surprised when I open a book with a okay cover and the story just it leaves me like I need the next issue. Then when I get
See, I have a writer's
Yeah,
mind.
but
Yeah.
you need
Sometimes
the
it's
feel.
the title of the book that grabs me, right?
Like
Like,
I don't know. Like, have you ever? I mean, first of all, like, Ish, you're a writer. Mark, you write. Like, so much goes into the script of what kind of tone and like what do you want the story to be told, like image wise on the page. If there's not good art, there's so much missing from a story standpoint.
It has to be at the very least fluid. Like
I think
two
it
of my
has to
favorite
be.
books- It has to be fluid. It can't be distracting. Like Death
Like
Fight
the-
Forever, terrible. I don't want to even know what the words in the book
The scales have to be
are
balanced, in
telling
my
me
opinion.
because of how terrible the pages are. But then again, two of my favorite books, Free Planet and Free Planet.
With Aubrey Sitterson?
Yeah,
Aubrey?
yeah.
Yeah, he's a cool dude.
Free
He's a nice
Planet
good dude.
and
Really good.
Knights, right, are two of my favorite books.
Oh, yeah.
The art isn't great, but the story is so good and the art is fluid enough that I'm not distracted by, you know what I mean? Like it
Yeah.
doesn't distract me and make me like Death Fight Forever. I opened it up and was like, I'm good. I opened it and closed it.
Yeah, but
Sam,
you've
you
never
know what
been
I'm
a
talking
Xerit.
about.
You've never been a Xerit fan.
Oh, but see that goes back to my question to you guys. If there's a certain genre that you won't read, I'm pretty sure now there's certain writers or artists that you're like, I don't even want to look at it. It's not my bag. I've read that person's writing before, and I just can't get into the way they write or the way they tell the story. I'm pretty sure we all. You don't have to name names, but I'm sure we all have someone. You haven't found something like that yet?
CM Punk was really hard to read when he was writing. It was hard to read when he was writing for Marvel. It was hard. It was really hard. When Rob Liefeld was writing, it was hard. Todd McFarlane's run on Spawn was hard to read. They're not terrible, just hard to read. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like
Interesting.
for me, Scott Snyder is up there on the maybe top 3 for me. Scott Snyder. He's done he hasn't just done DC. He's done Dark Horse and Distillery. He's done different ones, and everything he does is like it really grabs my attention. Almost every book he writes. There's not a book where I'm like, you know what, this was whack. I don't like it. No,
I didn't
pretty
enjoy
much.
Death Metal at all.
Scott Snyder, I think as of 2026, he's got to be one of the top writers up there. He's got to be up there.
I mean, I love Noctera. Don't
Yeah.
enjoy Death Metal. by
Yeah.
the same right. You know what I mean? I just didn't enjoy the death.
Yeah.
That's it's interesting that some people have that. They all can't be winners, right? And I'll go back to that when we talked about M. Night Shyamalan, knocked
Yeah.
out of the park with one, and then fell flat on others. And that's by box office measure, because some people might like all his flops, and other people will say that's the worst movie he ever made.
He's
And
hit
yet the guy
on other
next, and then
movies. He just
the
doesn't
next
use his
guy,
name anymore.
right? The guy next to you could go, man, I love The Village. And the guy next to him is going, that movie blows, right?
like
That's
Lady
why
in the
it's
Water.
Lady in the Water. I like The Village. I mean, there's certain stuff that people just don't like, and you're like, and there's no reason to argue because that's what you like is what you like. So before I move on any further, let me show you guys something. So my birthday was on last Thursday, right?
Happy
So I had a
birthday.
party on. Thank you. I had a party on Saturday, and my buddy who was just in here not too long ago, he made me a shirt. And I'm going to show you guys what the shirt is, right? It says the real Dracula's wolf, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
I don't read comics.
That is awesome.
Is that the classic or what?
Why
We
did
need to bring you to a con.
between the F and the K?
You know what the funny thing is that anyways, he said I got that off of your last show when we had the OA art. I guess I made that comment and he grabbed it and he made a shirt out of it. So I don't even want to wear it at this point. I think I kind of want to put it up.
Wear it to a con.
I might wear it to a con. You're right. I might wear it to a con. Actually, I might wear it to your con.
Yes, I'm gonna look for you in that shirt. So you better be.
Yeah,
better be wearing that.
I'm gonna wear. Oh, Joey's right there. There you go, Joey.
Does it glow in the dark?
Yeah.
It looks really dope.
It does not glow in the dark, but it is good material. Thanks, Joey, once again. It was his idea.
Caesar, there used to be a company, like if you have shirts that you wanted to like hang in your room or whatever, that made like shadow boxes for your shirts, and it was for shirt art. And you know what the company was called? I'm not even making this up.
Shart.
Their company was called Shart.
That's fucking funny. Well, I tell you what, look for us, Mark, because I'm gonna wear that shirt. Joey's going with me. Joey's going with me to the con, so we're gonna wear it. So I gotta tell you guys, so is 2026 the year of the indie? Is that what it is? Is that what we're coming on?
No.
Oh no,
Indies out there, but I think the all-time, I think the current best title, and is Wonder Woman. Tom King's Wonder Woman run.
It is.
That's the best run going right now, and I know that's all subjective, but I think there will be some amazing books coming from the indie side of the house this year for sure.
yeah. What are you reading right now, Mark? That you're really enjoying if you're reading anything.
God, look at my pile and see. So I pick up a lot of the stuff that like my friends work on, and so like I read Superman now because Skylar Patridge is on art for that. I read Wild Animals because Andy was the artist on that. Like regular reading for me, like I read Absolute Batman. A lot of the ones like we named earlier, like the indie books, like I'm more indie. I don't really pick up much Marvel anymore. I tried to get into the X-Men when they relaunched, a year ago or so. And I couldn't get into it. And I don't know if it's like you said, like in my mind, like, I see the X-Men how I see them and I know what I liked, like with
Gail
Chris
Simone or
Claremont
Jed
and
McKay?
stuff like that. For which
For the X-Men, Uncanny or
I read all of it. So when it first started coming back out, I picked up like there's like 5 titles or something, and I tried like giving it the first 3 to 5 issues and stuff like that. But I don't know. I couldn't get into it. But the absolute stuff, like I read Martian Manhunter, I read Wonder Woman. I started on Superman, but I didn't really stick with it. I read. And I didn't really like the landing on it. I read Tynion's the serial killer miniseries he did.
from Dark Horse.
Was it Dark Horse?
This one may be a devil.
No. It wasn't. It started with a D, I think. Crap. and there may have been a delay in it because it felt like it didn't come out regularly.
Was it the Christmas one?
Yes,
Deviant.
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 Yes, yeah. And so I felt like, I felt like it didn't stick the landing. Like the beginning was kind of cool. You know, it felt like, oh, okay, serial killer type thing. Let's see where it goes. But it was like,
I mean,
there had to have been a delay in the middle of it.
Closet was terrible. Deviant was terrible. He's done some
Closet,
great stuff.
man.
You know, Mark, you mentioned you don't pick up Marvel anymore. I was really surprised. And again, maybe it wasn't their own decision. I don't know. But Marvel, to me, literally just ended their best comic book run going right now last week.
Ultimate Spider-Man 24.
Yeah, that was the best Marvel title going, and they ended it. I don't even know why.
I think it's great, but Captain America is pretty awesome. Infernal Hulk is pretty awesome. Storm is pretty awesome.
Yeah, Hulk. I'll give you that. Hulk, I do read. So yeah, I do read that.
Yeah, Storm is good.
Is there a different feel when you read DC and a Marvel and then you switch over to indie book? Do you guys just transcend from one to the other, or is there an actual? It to me, it's like a tangible thing, like feeling paper, feeling silk, and then feeling cardboard. Is there like one's just a smoother read and the other one's grittier? It's a different feel.
I prefer to read indie. However, if I'm comparing Marvel to DC for the majority of my life, I could never take a DC book seriously. It's very difficult because it's such a different feel than on superheroes than it is for Marvel. I remember early on, I read an essay where the reason why Marvel got to be so successful early in the game is because Marvel started writing comics for teenagers and older. And so, when you have characters by the name of Lightning Lass, right, and Matter Eater Lad, and the things of things of that nature, like it's just not going to hang next to someone named Spider-Man, right, or Hercules, you know what I mean? And so it was always until recently. Obviously, Tom King's Wonder Woman really did something for me 2 years ago. Like it's so great, and I've been waiting for Wonder Woman to be good for a long time. And then the Absolute books. And now I probably read more DC in the past 2 years than I've read in my entire life, because it's a different feeling than when I read a Marvel book. You know what I mean? Even an indie book, I'd pick indie over DC.
Does that go for everybody here? They will pick an indie book over. No, not you, Sam.
Sam is a big DC guy, though.
I'm a huge DC person. I've been a DC person since I was a kid, and DC for me was always a different feel than when I read Marvel. Like, I'm a huge Spider-Man person, so I read Spider-Man all my life. That was just fun and exciting, and I didn't get the Peter Parker that you could relate to. I got the Clone Saga Peter Parker, so like Maximum Carnage, all that. So like, I know, right? But it was crazy, and the art drove a lot to for me.
Bagley, you grew up on Bagley and Larson, and
exactly.
Yeah.
From a DC standpoint, though, it was all about like when I really got into reading and got a little bit older, like the quality of the stories were top notch. Mark Waid's Flash, which transitioned into Jeff Johns, Green Lantern, Kingdom Come, like those DC stories, like basically set the foundation for my standard of what comic universes and like what comic reading should be. And it took a long time for Marvel to get up to that for me. And I think they're nowhere close right now.
Yeah. That was actually my first comic book that I read. It's called Hyde Street. Ghost Machine.
Yeah, I was gonna say Ghost Machine is something we didn't mention, and they're those titles are all pretty.
Love
pretty
them
good.
all. I'm not even a horror guy, but it's such a Twilight Zone-esque horror. I actually read Hyde Street, and I'm not a horror guy, but I read everything.
What is it about? What is it about? Let's all go with Hyde Street because you guys seem to agree. What is it about Hyde Street that really grabs you compared to maybe some other horrors?
For me, it was my first comic that I read back over a year ago, and then I was like, dude, what the hell? Like that, it just tripped me out. Like this kid that's a Boy Scout, he is not a good boy. Let's
The
just
man
say
with the X-ray eyes.
with
Nah.
the X-ray eyes. It's like, whoa, like this is a different kind of world I'm in. It really brought
it's
me in.
Twilight
to
Zone,
something.
but
Yeah.
horror, and that's
Yeah.
for me. It's very Twilight Zone esque. You know, I idolize Rod Serling. Like he was my idol. You know what I mean? And
This is DC title.
no, it's Image.
No, it's
Oh, it's an
Image. So
Image.
yeah, Ghost Machine is like its own,
Yeah.
branch in Image.
Yeah.
Gotcha,
But Jeff
gotcha.
Johns, man, Jeff Johns and everybody
He's
at
brilliant.
Ghost Machine
They're brilliant.
they're brilliant.
Their books
Exactly.
come out consistently. Geiger, Redcoat, Rook,
Right.
Hyde Street.
Sarkis, I meant to tell you, if you want to look into your future of what you do because you buy all these books to read,
Yeah.
look no further at Dan, because Dan has 5 million books.
Yeah.
Because he reads, right? So he buys every single book that comes out, and then when he dies, his poor lovely wife is going to be left with so many boxes of comic books that she's going to use for kindling
Let's not
that
talk
she's
about
going to
that
have to
guy,
get.
please.
She's going to have to get rid of. So
Everything dead and dying-ish.
be very careful, Sarkis, how much you buy and stuff like that, because
You know,
Dan
Dan,
is your
to
future.
go back
If you
to
want to
Jeff
add to
Johns,
your reading collection, do not look towards Caesar because he
To-
doesn't
yeah.
own a book.
you know,
that
to,
you
to
can
go back to
read.
the Jeff Johns conversation, though, I mean, pretty much anything Jeff Johns puts his name to now, you're going to want to read it. I mean, his Hawkman run was amazing. He did
Superman.
Earth One, amazing. I mean,
JSA.
Search for
Yeah.
She-Hulk with Avengers. Like nobody really knew him back in that Marvel days.
Yeah.
But the
Yep.
search for She-Hulk was great.
It's great.
yeah.
Yeah, he's got a
So
really
that's the other
brilliant
thing, you know, you
mind.
mentioned about like indie comics and what how do you gravitate, and we talk about
Yeah.
things like the cover. But again, one of the things I look for is I look for the writer. I'm like, okay, that's a draw for me. If I see a writer that I know I'm going to enjoy from past reads, I'm going to be like, yeah, I'm definitely going to pick that up.
People
And
are
it
not
goes to
feeling
the
that
opposite
way that
too,
they
right?
slept on Geiger.
Huh?
It goes to the opposite way, right? Because if it's a book you read and you did not like, now you're kind of timid to pick up the next one, right?
That could
So
happen.
it kind of goes both ways. You pick up the first book you love to read, you can't wait. Oh, he has a new title out. You read it because you were happy with the first one, and then all of a sudden you pick up the first one and you're like, I didn't like it. Then he comes out with the new title. You're like, I don't know. I mean, I don't like the way he writes. Or I don't like the way he tells a story. So it could have that reverse effect. But I guess you got to give it a chance, right? I mean, you never know. As Ish said, Scott Snyder did some good stuff, but he also did not do some good stuff for
We just
him.
talked
can't all
about it
be
earlier
winners.
today, Dan, when we were talking about Alan Moore, right? Like we can cite great examples of Alan Moore writing, and then we can cite some not so good ones.
Not so good stuff.
You know what I
Oh, but
mean?
you know what? Ish, you brought up a really good point we were talking earlier too, because again, we talk about another thing that can really turn me off from any book is the personality of the creator. Like
Mm.
if I meet a creator and they're an a-hole, that's all it takes for me. Like I don't care how good their work is, I don't care how valuable the book is. I'll be like, I don't need it. Like that's another thing too. So I mean, we weren't shitting on Alan Moore. I'm just saying generally speaking. And I've met creators I've liked, and then when I met them, they're really kind of douchebags, and I'm like, all right, write that on the list.
So that influences you, Dan, to like, I'm not gonna.
to not go to the book anymore.
I mean, Jason Aaron is one for me, right? I love Bug Wars. Really love Bug Wars. I think he
Oh,
wrote
so
a
good.
definitive run on Avengers. I think his run is a definitive run. I think what he's doing on Absolute Superman is great, and then he's done some things, and I'm like, I just leave it. I don't enjoy it. I just leave it. But I'm not leaving him as a writer because I know he has written things that I do enjoy, so I'll give it a try. You know what I mean? I didn't care about his what's that at the end of the universe, whatever it was for Boom. I just didn't do anything for me at all. You know what I mean? But then he drops Bug Wars, and it's this brilliant world building masterpiece. You know what I mean?
His,
Just
Oh, that-
his
that-
Thor
that-
run
that
is one of the
came out a
best
few weeks
Thor
ago with
stories of all
April
time.
What Mark, please by all means do not mention names, but I'm pretty sure you've
I
met some
mentioned
people,
names.
right? I mean, I'm pretty sure you've met some people that you've heard about, and then you meet them, you go, he's not that bad like people say, or you're like, yep, he is an asshole.
Yeah, I mean, and I think I think I'm with Dan. Like, if I have a bad experience, then I don't support that person. I'm just like, I don't need to buy that book. I don't need to, you know, to read that stuff. The majority of people, though, like, and that I've met creator wise, have been super nice, super cool. You kind of feel like you're in a you're all in the same group. Like you get together and you talk about stuff and you talk about your techniques. And so like I'm going to ASCAF this Saturday for their 1-day show, and I look forward more to hanging out with all the creators Friday night than doing this, than actually doing the show. I mean, I still love, meeting people and stuff like that, but I just look forward to seeing these creators that I don't see on a regular basis and hanging out and talking about, hey, what are you working on? Hey, well, what's going on? Stuff like that. I have met a few creators that just weren't, and I'm probably going to get, comics gate hate, but when Ethan Van Sciver first came out, I met him at Phoenix like years and years and years ago, and he was a nice enough guy, signed my books, talked to me about, what he was doing. But now, like, I wouldn't go up to him at a show, I just, it wouldn't be for me.
That's
I
it's
like
interesting because
Cyberfrog.
Yeah.
I did.
Well,
I was young.
that's
Yeah.
the only thing he did. But at the same time,
He wrote some X-Men. He was terrible.
I've heard. It's terrible.
It was terrible. It was during a period where X-Men was really terrible, and he contributed to its terribleness.
And then when he
But
wrote, he wrote sex on every page for like that one issue.
Man, it's just terrible, man.
It's like me, right? If I was a shitty or an asshole of a podcaster, then people wouldn't come back because you're like, oh, that guy's an asshole. Why would I want to watch that show again? So it goes both ways. And luckily I am an asshole, but I guess it's an enjoyable one. Plus I got Dan. Dan's my yin, to my yang.
No, I'm grateful, Caesar, and everybody here for having me on here. This is really fun meeting you guys. Some of you guys are new. I haven't met before, so thank you guys. But Caesar, it's been crazy, dude. When I started comics, I got into it October, November of 2024. I picked up a comic. I gave it a shot. I really liked it, and then from there, I started buying comics every week. And
Sarkis,
then
what made you pick it up, Sarkis? What made you pick up your book?
I needed an outlet. I was going through some personal stuff. I needed an outlet. I needed to try something else to get away from that stuff that I was dealing with. So I picked up a comic to see if it can make me feel better, if it can give me a new perspective in life, and it actually did.
That's awesome. That's freaking awesome.
The comic books actually, the people who write, the people who draw, the people who sell, the stores, the people I'm meeting, like you guys, definitely made an impact in my life. I see things differently now. I met awesome people like you guys, and then meeting the writers, Ronnie Barnes, somebody I look up to. He's an amazing guy. I met him at Collector's Paradise in Hollywood. I'm a big fan of him. Jeff Johns, I met at Burbank. Like, these are people who are, doing great things. They're successful, and it's just amazing. Like, you're able to talk to them, and they talk to you. The community is amazing. That's all I can say. It's just amazing community.
The community is supposed to be like this, and unfortunately, it's not all the time. But it's the community. It's supposed to be like this, and that's why it's called. It's a community because it's a commune, right? Yeah. It's a togetherness, and it's supposed to be this way. But unfortunately, it can be extremely toxic.
Right.
And that's why a lot of times on this show and I say it all the time, we can talk about controversial shit. We can talk about this and this and that to get views, but
you
could get that anywhere else. You know what I mean? It's not for this show. So, I try to bring people together and it works. It fucking works, but this community is supposed to be fun. You collect what you want,
right?
You read what you want. Mm-hmm. You spend your money on however you want to spend it on, And
Right.
if it's shitty books, then it's shitty books. I mean, that's just the way it is. There's
Yeah.
no gatekeepers. Gatekeepers don't belong, and they do exist, but they should not belong in this community, because I get shit all the time because I have nothing but slabs. What do you got by slabs? They're supposed to be read and smelled and this and that. Fuck you. Fuck you. I don't care. It's my money. If I don't read them, I don't read them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, I would crack all of them and keep.
I rub my favorite comic on my chest every day. makes me feel good.
Yeah, it doesn't. I don't get it. And we all know.
It doesn't have white pages anymore. It's cream.
Or have met someone like that. It's like
I love my books so much I can't even open the pages. They're stuck.
I knew it.
I was waiting for that to come, man.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you.
I did it.
Off white.
I'll be here all night, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
Yeah, leave it to the geek in the top right. But you know what? Indie comics, I think, is if anything, it's going to get stronger. It's a new generation of people. It's introducing new people, i.e., Sarkis, to kind of pick up and read and like, I'm going to give this a shot, right? Now he's reviewing it and he's talking about it and this and that. He never dreamed of doing that when he was 18.
Caesar, that was all this, like meeting people and all that, and like reviewing and talking about it. It was not the plan. My plan was just to read it, and talk, and just keep it in my mind. And if I liked it, I liked it, and if I didn't, I didn't. But if I really liked it that much, then yeah, I would make the video. And I just want to share with everybody and like let you all know what I thought of it. So that's why I do it.
Yeah, if the day you guys ever see me review a book,
yeah,
Oh, I can't wait.
I don't think it's going to happen. For one, and if I always did say if I do, it's going to be one of Mark's books because he's my buddy now.
We're gonna tie you down at the show and make you flip the book in front of you and make sure that
you're gonna put some toothpicks in my eyes, right? Is that what it is?
Hey, Sarkis, I just followed you on Instagram. Everybody go follow Sarkis Comics on Instagram too, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Everybody go follow Sarkis Comics on Instagram.
Yeah, he's a
And
good.
follow
Mark
Mark
is a good
Fayton. I
dude.
followed you last time too, Mark. So
Yes.
everybody follow Mark.
Appreciate it.
Follow Tree City Comics. Follow Comic Sam. Follow the Real Dracula's Wolf. Like, find us on Instagram. You can even find Issue X and follow me on Instagram too. I'll follow you back.
I was early on with Sarkis when he
Oh yeah.
But when Sarkis was this guy who wants to just talk comics, and I popped in and it's funny. I kind of feel like I go way back with Sarkis, even though I don't fucking read. So the funny thing is, gentlemen, so it's getting close to that time. So let me go around the gambit here. Now I'm going to ask you guys, is there a specific indie book coming out that you are looking forward to read, or you think will be the next hype? And I'm going to save you last ish because you are that guy. I'm going to start with you, Sarkis. Is there something you're hearing about or reading about that is coming out or that you're kind of looking forward to read?
Probably Nectar, #1 from Vault. I'm hearing a lot of good things about it from a lot of people who read it.
That for people, not me, because I know what it's about. But what is Nectar about? I'm just kind of curious.
I haven't checked the synopsis, but I need to check it out. Just a lot of people have recommended me to purchase it and to read
Butterfly.
Yeah. What was that?
What is it about?
It's about like killer butterflies or something. They're going around like the nectar is the blood they drink of the people, and I know this is weird, but this is like something. I think it's something about that. Like these death butterflies are going around and they're sucking the blood and killing the people.
See, everything you just told me makes me not want to fucking read it, and that's
it's not for everybody. I'm just saying. I mean, I'm probably not doing
that's what I'm saying. That doesn't do a damn thing for me. Okay, anyways, let's go with you, Sam. What are you looking forward to reading, or is coming out, or?
There's 2 books specifically that I'm looking forward to. There's this one book coming out
We gotta say
in
the
late
same.
February called "Is Ted Okay?"
From Mad Cave. Yep.
from Mad Cave. The synopsis is like, I it's weird. Like the guy works for like a super huge corporation, but he's just doing like the day-to-day stuff, but he's suffering from a ton of like random shit, and like it's supposed to take a turn into like very, very sci-fi-esque, like dive into his life and what's next.
Okay.
The art is compelling to me. Based on the articles that I've read on it, like I want to check it out, and I'm not a huge Mad Cave person usually. But the creator, I forget his name. His name's Dave something. I'll have to look it up because I feel bad not knowing his name. But it looks
Finn.
really good. So that's one that I'm looking forward to. And then coming in May, there's a book that was just solicited from Image Comics, and it's from James Tynion, and it's the Tiny Onion team. So it's called Odin.
Odin.
And there is a reporter who goes undercover, and like I guess they'll do anything to get a great story. They go undercover with a group of neo-Nazis who are traveling basically on a quest to go revive or like reach Odin, to summon him to then do like their bidding. And I guess in the forest where they're at, they encounter like something older and more terrifying than what they were looking for in Odin. And it's supposed to be like crazy horror. So we'll see. I think it's a 6-issue miniseries. It's getting a lot of hype because it was announced at Comics Pro. I think it's going to be one of those like probably like FOMO-esque type books, but the
All right.
premise is pretty crazy.
Okay. But
The
you,
covers are
Dan,
terrifying.
So I'm wrapping up a read on one now called Ferocious, which is from Mad Cave, and I was pleasantly surprised by it. Honest to goodness, like I did not think I would enjoy it as much as I am. The premise of it was really intriguing, which is why I jumped into it. But Luke Petrowski and I'm trying to think of I think it's Emmanuel Ercolani are doing that title, and I would say it's a 5-issue run. It's just number 4 just came out, so it's wrapping up, and it's good. It's really worth the read. If you haven't picked it up, it's easy to. It's 5 issues. It's really good read. One I just picked up here recently, and I got to look up the name of it again because it's called this just dropped. So I guess maybe this would count as a new title, but it's called End of Life. Did anybody pick this book up?
Vertigo.
Who's that? Vertigo?
It came out last week. Vertigo.
Is that Vertigo?
Yeah, and I'm going to count it because it's Vertigo. I mean, I know it's not considered indie DC, but it really is an interesting story to me. So it's a Kyle Stark story.
A hitman.
Yeah, it's a hitman who it's a hitman that ends up having to go back to his hometown. And I don't want to ruin it, but I would tell you issue 1 just came out here recently. Very, very entertaining read. So I would say jump on that if you can.
Okay, good. Thank you. I'll jump on it as soon as I can. Mark.
He won't read it. He'll literally just
no. I'll just literally jump on it as soon as I can. Mark, what do you got?
So there's this indie western coming out titled Merciless that I thought was looking pretty good.
Was it pretty good?
No. So I'm a big Jimmy Palmiotti fan, and like I've become really good friends with him, and he's been a mentor. So they've got a Kickstarter next week for Painkiller Jane. I think this is like the 30-year anniversary. And so they've got new stories, stuff like that. So I'm excited for that. Not really indie, but I'm excited for a lot of the Vertigo titles. Like some of those look really good. So like those are like the bigger things, that I'm really looking forward to right now. But I think, like the Painkiller Jane, I've always liked those stories. So I'm excited to see what they do for the 30-year anniversary.
All right. All right, Ish, leaving the to you because I know you
guys
the
gonna
mistress.
There's a couple. He mentioned Odin. I'm really excited for Odin, and for the same reasons that Sam is. I love the cross between like It's described as Green Room meets Midsummer. So I love that horror, ancient high fantasy type blend. So I'm interested to see where that goes. Robert Kirkman, don't hate on me for saying this. Robert Kirkman is hit or miss for me. I think he's a good writer, but I think Robert Kirkman, he just reminds me of like the best writer in a high school class. Like the best, the best writer, but it's very easy to read, and I think that's what makes him work. No, I mean it. Listen, went to school. I was jealous of some of the other writers in my class. You know what I mean? Like I'm talking high level. Like really, he's writing a book that's coming out called Terminal, which is a superhero book. He's going back to his superhero roots. He's got David Finch. He's got Art Adams. He's got Andy Kubert. All of these people are involved in this project, and he's just going back to the superhero roots in Image Comics. So I'm looking forward to that. But the biggest book I'm looking forward to, I told you guys earlier that a title can grab me. And there's an Image book coming out called If Destruction Be Our Lot.
Yes.
And that book, to me, I'm really, really excited for. It's about a future where humanity has died out, and the robots that have served them continue to exist and to work, and they're in this happier world because there's no interference with humans, except for a robot named Abe, and there's a really dope cover with Abraham Lincoln like in the middle, but this robot named Abe feels like there's more to life, and he wants to find out what it is, that there's something else out there, and I'm just really excited for that. And the last thing I want to say is a book comes out tomorrow called Murder Drones from Oni Press.
Oni Press.
It is based off of a very popular anime that you can only watch on YouTube. The art is gorgeous, and I read it, and the story was really good. And number 1 is really good, and I'm looking forward for issue number 2.
I need a set ish, by the way.
I only have a cover.
That's fine. I'll take a A.
Well, let me tell you what a book I'm looking forward to reading. Why are you laughing?
TV Guide.
You son of a bitch.
And of course, Bleeding Hearts. Alice Prius, right? Of course, Bleeding Hearts.
I am looking forward to
Mark, if you happen to have TV Guide from 1993, I'm missing that issue.
the nutritional facts on the
I'll see
top.
if I can get you.
Can you please? Yeah. All right. Well, gentlemen, this was as I thought. It's exactly what I thought the show was going to be. Just a bunch of fucking nerds who read and one who does not. And it worked out. You guys are a pool of knowledge. Then you have stupid jokes from Dan, so it's a good show when you have a stupid Dan joke. So this is about the time where we go around and everyone says, "Hey,
remember the Superman remark? Remember when Dan hit us with the Superman remark?
Oh man,
I'll get it out right now. Don't make me. I'll get it out.
Don't you dare take out that remark.
Oh my god!
Please, I just ate. All right. So why don't Dan?
Did you tell us which books you were looking forward to?
Yeah.
It was
Nectar, right?
Nectar. Yes.
Nectar. Yeah. That one looked interesting.
All right, Dan. We're gonna start with you. Here we go, Dan. Go ahead.
Well, again, awesome show, guys. Great to chat with you all. Love it. I echo what Sarkis says. The community is what it's all about. The books are just the bonus. It's always about the people. So I can appreciate that. And if you don't find me here on the Comic Menu, you can find me on Instagram, Tree City Comics, where I'm writing about everything around this collectible community that we love, whether it's manga, anime, mainstream, indie, toys, you name it. I'm posting and I'm writing about it, and I'd love to connect with you out there and get your perspective, see if you agree, disagree. Either way, I think it's always good to connect. And tomorrow, I just recently became the latest host for the Comic Underground, an amazing group of people that run a positive, uplifting community where we connect buyers and sellers. And I've just joined as their latest host of the Comic Underground, and I'll be hosting my first show for the Comic Underground tomorrow with Missoula Comics, 8 o'clock to 11 o'clock U.S. Eastern Time on Instagram, the Comic Underground. So make sure you're following the Comic Underground, and you'll be made aware whenever they go live, and they have amazing sellers.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so go and give this guy support. We all know he's going to do fantastic. He's going to stutter a lot, forget things. It's fun. All right, let's go with
Habibis.
He's my little Habibi.
My Habibis with comics today.
All right, Sam, what do you got going on? Come. Yalla,
You can
yalla.
follow me on Instagram at Comic Sam Collects. Follow me on Whatnot. I've been running quite a bit of shows lately. Probably have an Absolute Batman show coming up at some point this weekend. But check out my group's website, sequentialartcomics.com. That's where you'll find all of our exclusives. We, 2 weeks ago, dropped our Invincible #1. We still have some copies left up there. We have a lot of stuff in the works. G.I. Joe, a G.I. Joe exclusive, a Vampirello exclusive, a Corpse Night exclusive is coming. We've got 3 books in the pipeline with DC Comics, maybe for some Absolute titles. And then, oh my gosh, I think we have an I Hate Fairyland also coming. It's a big year, and we've got a ton of stuff cooking. So give me a follow, and you can take a look and see where to get them.
All right, Sarkis, your turn. Let's put you up here. Where can we find you and all that good stuff?
Hey Caesar, hi everybody. You all can find me on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Sarkis Comics. I like to do like reviews on comics books that I really enjoy reading. Sometimes we do interviews. I pretty much post everything comic related, comic books that I really like on the artwork, or if I really like the story, I'll post it. And I really appreciate Caesar, Dan, everybody here. I appreciate the whole comic community for the support that everybody gives each other. Just all I can say is be positive, support one another, and it's always great to meet new people. And thank you again, Caesar, for having me on your show. I really appreciate it.
No, absolutely. Won't be the last, my
Nathan,
friend. It
have
will
you?
not be the last. Will not be the last. All right, Mark.
All right,
going
so you can follow me on Instagram, BigSmooth39. If you look up Mark Fenton, you can find me there too. My website is my name, markfenton.net. I put on a show in Albuquerque. So this is year 4 for us for the Southwest Comic Book and Creator Showcase, the longest name in comic show history. Lots of mainstream creators. Our show is comic focused, so everything. We have publishers, we have comic dealers, we have comic creators of all levels. We have indie, we have pro creators, all of that. We've got Merciless coming out to our Kickstarter backers next month, and then we'll be picked up by a bigger publisher. So we'll have that coming out. And I think that's like it for now. Got some more books working on this year, so I'm excited for that. We showed Raymond Gay did a cover for Merciless, Andy Kuhn's doing a cover, and then Alex is doing another cover. So we'll have lots of options there.
All right. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that con. It's gonna be fucking fun.
Yeah.
All right. Ish.
Yo. So I'm passionate today. So today I'm going to do the things, but I'm going to take a little bit of time today to promote myself because I generally don't. But first of all, I want to tell everyone it's a pleasure hanging out in this community. It's a pleasure hanging out with all of you tonight. Shout out to Mark Fenton.
Move that mic closer to your mouth.
I love when I get an opportunity to hang out with creators. So make sure y'all go find Mark Fenton at markfenton.net.
Yes,
find him on
thank
social
you.
medias. Make sure you please support Merciless. We want to support those who are creating and contributing to this community because we want this medium to continue to grow, right? We want people to continue to buy comics, continue to read comic books, and we want Mark to eat.
Yes.
We want him to eat. Send a shout out his way to his con. Shout out to Comic Sam. Follow Comic Sam on Instagram. Please go follow Comic Sam Collects on Instagram. You're not going to be disappointed. This man has his hand in so many pots when it comes to exclusive covers. He is so knowledgeable about comics. This is someone that you want to know. You want to follow him. You want to find his social medias. You want to follow his whatnot. I just checked out Sarkis Comics on Instagram, and I'm happy that I met you, and I'm happy that I get to follow you. Almost 3,000 followers. You're doing something right. I was just scrolling through your Instagram. I'm like, okay, why didn't I know about him? And many of my friends follow you. Like, why didn't I know? I know now, and I'm telling y'all to go.
Thank you.
Sarkis Comics on Instagram. Find him on YouTube. Find all of his social medias. Follow him. Dan is the man. Yo, I've been following Comics Underground. Comics Underground follows me as well. And I'm going to tell you, Comics Underground is dope. And they just got doper because Dan is one of the best people I have met in this. We were talking about community. He's one of the best people, the greatest people. We were talking on the phone, almost an hour earlier, 40 minutes, something like that. Like Dan and I would just call and talk manga. I told him he is one of the most knowledgeable people I have met in this business. He's one of the, very, very, very high intellect. Don't let him fool you with this really crash.
You had me at hello. You had me
Dan
at
is
hello.
on another level. Caesar. I can't tell you how impressed I am with Caesar D. Morales. 2+, almost 3 years, 100,000 followers on the Comic Menu podcast, almost 3 years by hook, by crook, and even with a guy, even with Taco Bell Guzman, they have been showing up week in, week out. Listen, week in, week out. Week in, week out, if they're reviewing movies, if they're talking Golden Age, if they're talking pre-code horror, if we're here talking indies, if we're doing brackets, week in and week out, they bring in this entertainment. So I need you to go over to YouTube. I need you to give this video a thumbs up, a thumbs down. I need you to click on it for at least 3 seconds. Hit their algorithm up. Let's blow this thing up because they continue to bring this content and y'all continue to show up. That having been said, I am Issue X. I am the Robin Hood of the unfair market. You can find me at Comic Sense, COMIXSENSE on Facebook group and page, Comic Sense on Instagram. You can find me at Issue X on Instagram. The name is right there, ISHUE.X on Instagram. And I'm the Robin Hood of the unfair market. My goal, my mission is to bring consumers the best value on the unfair market, period. I got a full-fledged middle finger and all of the smoke for the unfair market and some of the things that we do. And I said it earlier, and this is a time I never generally toot my own horn. I'm toot. White sky that everyone is, as Dan so aptly put it, FOMO'd over. Listen, I had it for $2 a book. Dork, $2 a book. Dork #1 second print. I will have it for 25% off cover. Absolute Batman #1, 2 for the price of 1. You name it. When people were selling Ultimate Spider-Man 9/8 for $200, we were selling them for $85. Am I lying, Sam?
Nope.
$85. This is what we do. So if you're having these conversations over the next hot book, what people are foaming after, what blah, 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 do I want to spend my money? Do I want to invest? Think less. Go over to my Facebook page, like the page, follow the page, pay attention to notifications, hashtag all of the spec every Tuesday night at 6:30 p.m. Eastern. 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Our stream is called hashtag all of the spec, and we bring the best value on the unfair market every week on #1 issues, key books, first appearances, spec, all of the things. That's it.
Thank you.
Wow, I got to tell you guys, there's a reason why that hold on, let me put myself in. There's a reason why I put these people together, because I'm all about the community. I got to be honest, since I don't fucking read, it's the only thing I can do. I collect and I do this shit every Tuesday, and I get you guys all together. Next week we got the movie show. Oh, if you guys don't know, we talk about movies and reviews. We review movies we've never seen. We review movies from 1978. We do a shitty job, but you know what? It's fucking funny. So if you like the ha-has and you have nothing to do on a Tuesday night, swing on by next week. We'll do that. The next following week, I think we have some stuff planned. We got Comics Geeks and more going to join us. We're going to have a bracket coming up, people, in March. We got a bracket tournament, and those are always fun to do. I mean, people love that shit. It's been a while. We got one coming up. We got Comics Geeks and more is going to join us. Maybe bring somebody else on as well. You can find me here once again, like you said, the Real Dracula's Wolf on Instagram. I'm still doing a couple slab and figure stuff. It's been a while, but I'm going to get back into it once again. If you want some voiceovers, I'm your man. Any given time you want something, let me know. So that being said, everybody, thank you so much for joining the show. We will see you next week. Peace. Love you guys.